Okay.
Good
So,
afternoon, ma'am.
good afternoon. What are we going to do today?
Question answer of 100 races.
Yes. Have you gone through it?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Okay. So the 100 dresses one. First one. Give me a quick summary of the 100 dresses first part, Shantanu.
Okay, ma'am. This story is about a girl named Wanda Petronsky. He belongs to a poor family background and have a and it was a Polish name as they are mainly from Poland and shifted to America. She always wore a same blue faded dress every day. Wanda have a habit of saying that she had 100 dresses and 60 pair of shoes. Wanda lived in Boggins Height and always seated in a corner of the class. Peggy and Maddie are both best friends, and and Peggy was the most popular girl of the school. Maddie was the best friend of Peggy, and she was very poor, like Wanda. Uh, uh, in the time of drawing competition, everyone thinking that Peggy should win that competition, but when the teacher enter, uh, sorry, Peggy would win the competition as the topic was boys have to draw a motorboat and girls have to draw a pretty dress. Everyone thought that Peggy would win, but when the class teacher, Mr. Mason, says that Jack Bagels was the winner of boys and Wanda Petronsi among girls. Uh, by this, everyone shocked and looked at the drawings of Wanda, and Mrs. Mason said that Wanda submitted 100 dresses of different color and design, so she would win the drawing competition. The entire class found that the dresses were just that Wanda had described, like gray, violet, and the blue dress and the red dress. Everybody in the class appreciate Wanda's drawing, but at that time Wanda was absent in the class. In the class, so Mrs. Manson wait some days, but Wanda did not come to school. Sudden, ma'am, এটা ফার্স্ট পার্ট ওভার গেলাম,
First
সেকেন্ড
part,
পার্ট
हाँ, बस नहीं, नहीं. Second part, Ishana is not there, ma'am, today. Suma, ma'am.
No, ma'am. I think she joined some network issues. Maybe she. Yeah.
Okay, we have a new.
I think she's not there. She's also visiting for the first time.
Okay. Hello, Ankita. Would you want to say the summary of the second part?
Ma'am,
Ankita?
ma'am, Shantanu made mistakes.
I know. I'll come back to you. You are my, what do I say? You are my corrector. You will correct everything. Okay, Shubham, I'll get back to you. Ankita,
Yes,
would you want to say the summary?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, the 100 dresses part 2.
Okay, ma'am. Shall I start?
Yes.
Ma'am, in the second part, we would study the 100 dresses part 2. That is how she described her and gave the correct meaning to not to mistreat anyone. And so let's start. So when the result was declared, Maddie and Peggy both were worried as they understood that they would never get a chance to apologize Wanda as she left for a new country. She was a Polish immigrant. She left for a new country. Both the girls, Maddie and Peggy, got to know that Wanda liked them a lot. Due to this, Wanda had dedicated one of the 100 dresses based on drawings to each of them, as she describes the green colored dresses that she claims that it is her favorite. So the lesson will start with a letter received from Wanda's father. In that letter, Wanda's father would inform the class teacher that they are leaving the city because they are going to a city, a familiar city, where no one would tease Wanda for her uncommon name as well as her weird appearance, everyone uh, as everyone in her classroom, her classmates were thinking that she was weird and weirdly dressed, as she wore always a faded blue colored dress to her classroom. Next, after knowing the letter from the teacher, the whole class was in shock. They realized their mistake, and so their attitude changed towards Wanda. Maddie felt so bad that she was so coward to stop Peggy from making the fun of Wanda. So she thought that this was the only reason why Wanda could not focus on her studies, and she decided to leave the city. Then both the girls, Maddie and Peggy, decided to meet Wanda to clarify that they did not wanted to hurt her feelings. So they made up their mind to go to her house and tell that she has won the competition, the drawing competition. And when the school was over, both the girls visited the residence where Wanda lived at Boggin's Height to meet her. But till then, Wanda and her family already left. So their visit was not necessary. It went fruitless. Both the girls wrote a friendly letter to Wanda to tell her that she had won the contest. But after sending the letters, they did not get a reply from Wanda. Now it was a time of Christmas when Miss Mason got a letter from Wanda. Wanda had written a letter and wished Merry Christmas to all the class and her classmates. Further, she wrote that the girls could keep all of those 100 dresses that she made, and she specially dedicated some drawings to Paddy and Maggie. So both of them accepted the pictures and pinned them in their bedrooms. Maddie gazed, she looked at the picture for a long time after going the to her home. Then she ran to Peggy's house to see her drawing too. Peggy was also happy getting the drawing, but Peggy has consoled herself that Wanda was really like them. Now, in this content, we learn that there should not be any discrimination according to the dressing style or the skin tone or any language issue. So there, in this chapter, the writer is trying to tell us that everyone is equal and should be equally respected, and there should be no adverse impact in the society.
Very good. Okay, Shubham. Your take.
Yes, ma'am.
Your take on
Ma'am,
both the
Shantanu-
summaries.
Ma'am, Shantanu made mistakes. Said that habit. She had a habit of telling everyone that she had 100 dresses and 60 pair of shoes. She didn't have any habit. While she was asked about her dresses, she only told that I also have 100 dresses to know, because she didn't wanted that she should be teased by her classmates or be means down treated by them.
Yes. And what
Ma'am,
else?
nothing, ma'am. Ma'am, that much only he made mistake.
To add anything?
She said, ma'am,
Summaries?
in the summary, I want to tell second part.
Okay, then we'll ask you to tell the summary when we finish this exercise. Okay, and then when we
Yes,
reach the second part, I'll ask you to tell the summary again. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So the oral comprehension check. First one, where in the classroom does Wanda sit and why? So Wanda used to sit in there.
Ma'am, 1-1 we
Ma'am.
will tell. We'll tell 1-1
Ma'am.
partly.
1-1, then we'll not finish. I have
Ma'am,
some
finish,
videos
ma'am.
to show.
And we'll finish, ma'am. And
Okay.
speedily we will tell.
Okay. Shubham, read the first one.
Yes, ma'am. Where in the classroom does Wanda sit and why? Wanda used to sit in the seat next to the last seat in the last row in the room 13. She sat there because her feet were normally caked with dry mud and were very dirty. So, in order to avoid being laughed by her classmates, she sat her there to hide her dirty feet.
Very good. So, understood, na? This is clear.
Yes.
She had dirt. She had a very dirty shoes, and to avoid a mockery and everything, she used to hide herself and sit in the last row, even if she wasn't a naughty child. The last benchers mane usually naughty child thanti na. She wasn't like them. Yes. So she instead of being different from the last benchers, she used to sit there in order to hide her flaws. Okay. Second one, Ankita, where does Wanda live? What kind of a place do you think it is?
Shall I just read the
Answer.
line?
Just the answer.
Okay. Okay, ma'am. Wanda lived at Boggin's Height. It seems that it was a place far away from the school and also where there was a lot of dry mud, thereby indicating that it was not very rich locality.
Yes. Okay. Shantanu, third one. When and why do Peggy and Maddie notice Wanda's absence?
Peggy and Maddie noticed Wanda's absence after 3 days, that is on Wednesday, because they want to be with her for a lot of fun. They waited for her for a long time, but she did not turn up.
Yes. Shubham, what do you think to have fun with her means?
In this context, to have fun with her means Peggy and Maddie would have made fun of Wanda and teased her for their own pleasure. It means they would have had fun at Wanda's expense.
So this means that they did not understand, or maybe unknowingly, unintentionally, they did not feel that out of all these things, it would be hurting Wanda. Okay, her
They
confidence,
didn't know
her
the reason.
Ma'am, they did their work. They didn't think about its results and consequences.
yes, they did not even think that it would hurt. How would they themselves feel if somebody else did the same with them?
Yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
but that was in
They
case of
didn't
Peggy.
place themselves in place of that girl.
Yes,
If they
that
would
was
have placed, then it will be right.
no, but
Nothing will be.
Maddie felt that. Maddie felt bad
Ma'am, but
about it, but she did
ma'am,
not.
yes, ma'am.
Tell me.
Ma'am, the one who does the crime is not the means that much criminal, but who see it and ignore that. That is the main. He or she is the main criminal of that.
Yes, so Maggie,
Thing.
what she did, she was equally wrong in doing, because she kept quiet. She did not, take a stand for Wanda, and did not stop Peggy from, insulting or teasing or mocking her. Okay, so Maddie and Peggy both were equally wrong, and Maddie maybe Maddie was feeling more bad about herself, because instead of knowing how Wanda would be feeling because of these mockery and teasing and bullying, okay, she kept quiet only because she thought that next she would be targeted. Okay.
Due to the
Now,
fear, as she also belonged to a very poor family like Wanda.
yes. Okay. Second comprehension check is, in what way was Wanda different from the other children? Ankita?
Wanda was different from other children as she hardly had any friends. She came to school alone and went home alone. She always wore a faded blue dress that did not fit her properly. Unlike other children, she did not talk to anybody. She had a name, Wanda Petronsky, that was different when compared to the other easy names of the children in our class.
Okay. Second one, Shantanu, did Wanda have 100 dresses? Why do you think she said she did?
No, she did not have 100 dresses because she was poor and wore the same faded dress to school every day. Probably it was a child's uh, fantasy to possess 100 dresses. A child who had only one dress to wear for school, yet dreaming of being like the other children with a ward. Sir, ma'am,
Wardrobe, wardrobe,
what is meaning of wardrobe here?
wardrobe, closet. कौन कौन थी? Almirah,
Full of clothes.
clothes,
Yes, ma'am.
wardrobe
Full of
full
clothes.
of clothes. Okay, good. Hey, last part एठी अछि. Since she had
Since
no,
she had no friends, she might also have said she had 100 dresses just to make conversation to get the other girls' attention without realizing that the girls would use this remark to make fun of her.
okay, Shubham, why is Maddie embarrassed by the questions Peggy asks Wanda? Is she also like Wanda, or is she different?
Maddie was embarrassed by the questions Peggy asked Wanda because she was poor herself. She usually wore old clothes, which were handed down by someone else. She did not feel sorry for Wanda. She was worried that perhaps later everyone would start teasing her too. She thought that she was different from Wanda in the sense that she would never claim that she had 100 dresses. She was not as poor as Wanda, yet she was afraid that others might mock her too.
Yes. So she, instead of being, why was she embarrassed? Not because she felt how Wanda felt, not because she understood how Wanda would be feeling because of these bullying and mockery and all these that was happening with Wanda, but she was worried that maybe perhaps later on, after if she retaliates or if she asks Peggy to stop, maybe she would be the target because from the chapter we know that Wanda used to wear some old clothes which were given by Peggy's mother. And what was Maddie's mother doing? She was making some simple इधर उधर कोई बॉर्डर लगा देना या कुछ कर देना ताकि वो अलग दिखे, so that it looks a little different of what Peggy's mother gave her. Okay, the cloth would look a little different so that nobody recognizes that it was Peggy's dress, old dress. Okay, so Maddie was perhaps, not perhaps, but she was definitely worried and more cautious about she being a target herself instead of empathizing with Wanda. Okay, understood?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am,
Okay. Huh.
no doubt, ma'am, that I am saying the habit of Wanda, ma'am, it is correct at in the above answer, ma'am, जोटा read कली, कारण एटी मैंने अन्य गर्ल्स को अटेंड माने अटेंशन को गेन करया पई सेटा कहउतला एंड मैम हैबिट जोटा वे माने धर हम गोटे लोक ठारू गोटे जिंस बारंबार करबा तेबे सेटा तार हैबिट हे जिवो देन इट इज नॉट रॉन्ग टू से हैबिट.
See, it is ମୁଁ କଣ କହିବି ଦେଖ habit କୋଉଟା, you keep on biting your nails all the time. कि पचारू कि न पचारू, you keep on biting your nails, that is a habit. You keep on drinking bottles of water, that is a habit. You have a habit of talking, you're very talkative, that is a habit. Okay, there is no extra the outward ଗୋଟେ pressure nahi ତମ ଉପରେ. This is what comes from within. You are always on the phone. Okay, that is a habit that you inculcate. Understood?
That
Habit.
we gain from
Yes.
surroundings.
Yes, that is known as a habit. Shantanu, understand?
Ma'am,
When
मैम वंडर सराउंडिंग से बड़ा थिला बोली सेटा गोटे हैबिट हे गला.
but see कौन मन इच्छा I have 100 dresses, I have 100 dresses कोई बोलथिला कि? No,
नो
right?
मैम तक पचारले बोली.
Asked. When she was asked, only then she used to reply that yes, I have 100 dresses all lined up in my closet, and all of different colors, all of different varieties. Yes, I have. There are other questions also. when you go through the book, there are other questions also, like they used to ask about the hats, the shoes and everything else, which is not mentioned. But they used to ask her about everything else, and she used to, give false answers. That yes, I have 60 pairs of. Gote jagare lekha hai na. She says that she has 60 pairs of shoes,
Yes, ma'am.
isn't it?
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, it is not habit. It is said that she defended herself by saying that.
Not defended, but she presented herself like that so that her classmates like her also. Acceptance. Mu last time कहथली ना, when we go to a new
Yes, ma'am.
place and a new school or any new, be it in this coaching, this platform also, when we have a new student with us, like Shantanu and Shubham and me, we are close, like we are closely associated now. Amaro bhalo rapport hoy jaychi. We know each other now, so we are comfortable, isn't it?
Yes, ma'am.
But when somebody else, like today we have Ankita, we had Ishana, okay. So when new people come in, it is our duty to make them feel
Make them
comfortable.
comfortable.
Yes, and what as a new person they would want? They would want that we should be acceptable towards them, like we should accept them also. So what will they do? They will try to put in some effort. Like I gave Ankita a chance to read, and she read. What if Ankita was a little kind of introvert or shy or something? She wouldn't have read. She would have said, "No, ma'am, I don't want to read." So I wouldn't have forced her. I would have given her time. Okay, that is how
Yes,
things
ma'am.
work. So here what I'm trying to tell you is that Wanda wanted other people, her classmates, not to make fun of her. Rather, she wanted them to accept her, because back of the mind she always had this feeling that I come from a very poor family, or not so good, a well placed family. Okay, I don't have a lot of dresses to wear to school, and rather her classmates were from a higher class. Okay, they were from a not so poor families. Okay, so that kind of a conscious nature she had, and because of why she thought that if she would lie about the 100 dresses or 60 pairs of shoes or n number of hats she has, and etc etc, at least people would accept her and start at least talking to her. But what she expected and what actually happened are two different things. Okay, so that is why it was not a habit. Habit is like a general thing that you do without any external force or external questions or inputs or anything. Okay, like you are a foodie and you love food and you like eating. So that's a habit. Like I said, biting nails, like I said, being talkative. Understood, Shantanu?
Yes, ma'am.
So do not say habit. It's not a habit. Like she jaha sange bhi dekha haythanta se kahithanta ki, oh, I have 100 dresses, oh, I have 100 dresses, I have 60 pairs of shoes, like that would have been so funny ki taku pachari bhi
Yes,
nanti
ma'am.
and se kahibo. So that's a habit, and people would have laughed at her more, isn't it?
Yes, ma'am.
Understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Kon Shubham thik karli tha?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and don't mute yourself, there is nobody else.
Yes, ma'am.
ଆଉ mute କରିବା ଦରକାର ନାହିଁ. Okay, where were we? Did we finish question number 3? Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Comprehension check 3. Why didn't Maggie ask Peggy to stop teasing Wanda? What was she afraid of? Who is going to read? Last was who?
Ankita.
Ankita. Okay.
The dresses game, in which Wanda was asked every day how many dresses, hats, shoes, etc. she had, was bothering Maddie. Maddie was poor herself. She tried to tell Peggy to stop teasing Wanda by writing a note to her. She knew she would never have the courage to speak to Paddy about this matter. As she was writing the note, she pictured herself in the schoolyard as a new target for Peggy and the girls. She thought Peggy might ask her where she got the dress and she had on, and she would have to say that it was one of the Peggy's old one. This was what she was afraid of. Consequently, she ended up tearing the note.
Yes. So here also we know that Maddie was not, worried about how Wanda was actually feeling, but she understood somewhere at some point of time. But the more she was focusing on that, she might be the next target, and she might lose on Peggy's friendship and everything else. Okay. Next, who will answer this? Shubham.
No,
Ma'am
ma'am.
didn't
Who?
heard.
Shantanu.
Ma'am didn't heard
Shantanu.
what you told.
Uh, who is going to answer this? After
Shantanu.
Which
Ankita is
one?
Shantanu.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Who did Maddie think would win the drawing contest? Why?
Maddie thought that Peggy would win the drawing contest because Peggy drew better than anyone else. She could copy a picture in a magazine or some film star's face so well that one could tell who it was.
Okay. So that means she was very talented and she was a great artist. Okay. Third one. Who won the drawing contest? What had the winner drawn?
Uh, Ma'am, may
Hmm.
Jack Bagels among the boys and Wanda Petronsky among the girls won the Jack Bagels among the boys and Wanda Petronsky among the girls won the drawing contest. Jack drew an outboard motor. On the other hand, Wanda drew 100 dresses of different colors and designs, each of which was capable of winning the contest.
Very good.
Ma'am,
Yes.
ma'am, ଯାହା ହଉଛି Jack Bagels ଯଦି Jack Bagels ଦେଇଥାନ୍ତେ then ଆଉ କିଛି meaning ହେଇଥାନ୍ତା.
Meaning କଣ ହେଇଥାନ୍ତା? ତାର title ସେଇଟା ଆଉ କଣ?
Means Amazon
Beggars.
founder ହେଇଥାନ୍ତା.
Now Santanu is means not
Ah.
understanding the surname.
No, he's understanding the
Ma'am, I'm
ସେ
saying
କହିଲା
that
ନା ଅବିକା
Amazon founder ହେଇଥାନ୍ତା.
Amazon ର founder ହେଇଥାନ୍ତା ସେ। ଓକେ ଓକେ। ବାବା ଶାନ୍ତନୁ କୋଉଠୁ ପଳେଇ ଯାଉଛ ତମେ? ତମେ କଣ ଫୋନରେ Amazon ର ଦେଖୁଛ କି ଦିୱାଲି ଅଫର?
No, ma'am, ଖାଲି ସେ bagels ରୁ Vegas ମନେ ପଡିଗଲା.
Okay. Okay. Thinking about the text. First one. ଯାହାର ଚାନ୍ସ ଅଛି ଯାହା ପରେ ମନେ ରଖିକି ନିଜେ ନିଜେ ଆନ୍ସର କରିବ। Okay, I am forgetting. How is
Okay, ma'am.
Wanda seen as different by the other girls? How do they treat her?
Wanda Petronsky was different from other girls. Her name was different and not easy to pronounce, like the names of the other children in her class. She did not have any friends. She came to school alone and went home alone. She always wore a faded blue dress that did not fit her properly. It was clean but not ironed properly. Unlike the others, she did not talk to anybody. All of them mocked her and made fun of her.
Okay. How does Wanda feel about the dresses game? Why does she say that she has 100 dresses?
Wanda did not show any feeling regarding the dresses game. It is most likely that she was deeply hurt. It could have been one of the reasons why her family left the place and moved to the city. Since she had no friends and felt left out, she also might have said she had 100 dresses to make conversation and to get the other girls' attention without realizing that the girls would use this remark to make fun of her. ତାକୁ ଲାଗିଲା କି ସେଇଟା କହିବା ଦ୍ୱାରା ତାକୁ attention ମିଳିବ but except of ମାନେ attention ଜାଗାରେ ତାକୁ tease କରାହେଲା.
Yes. Okay. Third one. Why does Maddie stand by and not do anything? How is she different from Peggy? Was Peggy's friendship important to Maddie? Why? Which lines in the text tell you this? Shubham.
Maddie always stood by and never did anything as she was afraid that she did. She would be the next target of the children. She herself was poor and therefore felt that if she spoke against the others, she would target next. They would target her next. Unlike her, Peggy was a rich girl. This was also the reason why Maddie could think from Wanda's point of view, but Peggy would not. Maddie was Peggy's best friend. It seemed as if she was in awe of Peggy. She admired her quite a lot. She said that Peggy was not was the most liked girl in the room, and that she drew better than anyone else. She did not have the courage to go against her. Some of the lines from the next which show the Peggy's friendship
Next
was so
night. Next night. Text.
sorry, text which show that Peggy's friendship was important to Maddie are as follows. 1 minute. Peggy, who had thought of this game, and Mary, her inseparable friend, were always the last to leave. She was Peggy's best friend, and Peggy was the best liked girl in the whole room. Peggy could not possibly do anything that she was really wrong. She thought, oh, Maddie was sure Peggy would win.
Okay. Both one. What does Miss Mason think of Wanda's drawings? What do the children think of them? How do you know?
Miss Mason appreciated the paintings of Wanda. She was impressed at the creativity of the girl because she had painted 100 paintings, which were in wide range of variety. The children also admired the drawings. Everybody stopped and whistled or murmured admiringly. After Miss Mason had announced that Wanda was the winner, they burst into applause, and even the boys were glad to have a chance to stamp on the floor and whistle. Also, just as Peggy and Maddie entered the room, they stopped short and gasped. Later, they recognized the designs as those which Wanda had described to them, and in the end, Peggy exclaimed, "And I thought I could draw." This shows that she also realized how good Wanda's drawing were.
Okay. Now, do you have your books?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Take out the language portion.
I don't.
Now we'll do Konta? Kon koila?
PPT.
Thinking about language ta kada.
Ma'am, PPT is there? Yours.
I know my PPT is there, but there are only answers. I will first ask
Oh.
you and then show you the answers.
1 minute, I'm taking out.
Okay, first one. This is the bus. What kind of bus? It goes to Agra. Use which or that. First part of thinking about language ta.
Page number MTK.
Page number kiye kuho ta jaha pa ki book ko chire.
Page number 71.
Okay.
71.
Okay, first one, Shantanu. This is the bus. What kind of bus? It goes to Agra. Use which or that. You have to connect the two sentences, which gives the sentence the right meaning.
Ma'am, this is the bus. Which ma'am TK. मैम खाली से ब्रैकेट रो यूज करबी या मैम आ किछि चेंज करबी
किछि चेंज करबार नाही only you have to use either which or that.
This is the bus that it goes to Agra.
It आउ नाही खाली that goes to Agra.
मु से हम पचतले ओ किछि मैम इट वाडी रिमूव हो जिवो तो
हां
ओके मैम
okay good. Ankita would like to buy a shirt. Which shirt? Shirt is in the shop window. Use which or that.
You would like to buy a shirt which is in the shop window.
Okay. Third one, Shubham. You must break your fast at a particular time. You see the moon in the sky.
You must break your fast when you see the moon in the sky.
Very good. Fourth one, Shantanu. Find a word. It begins with the letter Z.
मैम टिक find a word which begins with the letter Z.
Good. Ankita, now find a person. His or her name begins with the letter Z.
Now find a person whose name begins with the letter Z.
Very good. Shubham. Then go to a place. There are no people whose name begins with Z in that place.
Then go to a place where there are no people whose name begins with Z.
Very good. Good. Okay, the narrative voice. What do you mean by narrative voice? Can anybody tell me?
Means,
voice
ma'am, what is the point of view of the narrator?
Yes,
narrator
when the
ଯାହା
narrator.
means ଯାହା ଉପରେ narrator acting କରୁଛନ୍ତି ମାନେ like ଧର ମୁଁ ଗୋଟେ narrator ଅଛି ମୁଁ ଗୋଟେ story ଉପରେ ମୁଁ ନିଜକୁ itself ମୁଁ imagery type ର use କରୁଛି symbolism type ର
Hmm.
ମାନେ ସେଟା true story ହେଇପାରେ କି ନ ହେଇପାରେ
Yes.
the
Narrative
voice
voice.
that describes the story.
ମାନେ
Yes.
ସେ narrator
voice
ଯାହାକୁ
that
voice
describes-
ଦିଅନ୍ତି ସେ narrator
Yes. Now we'll see a video which explains narrative voice. Clear ଅଛି?
yes ma'am
ଏଟା ଲେଖିବ ହେଲା କିଛି କହିବନି ତମେ ପଢିବ ଯୋଉଠି ପଢି ପାରିବନି ମତେ ସାଙ୍ଗେ ସାଙ୍ଗେ କହିବ I'll take it back. Okay?
okay ma'am
In fiction, the writer creates a narrator. Okay. This narrator tells the story, which is narrative.
narrative
The writer creates the narrator's voice. We call this narrative
Narrative
voice.
voice.
We ask, who is this? Once upon a time, there was a. Okay, এটা হচ্ছে narration.
ma'am ଏଟା ଯିଏ କହୁଛି ସେ ହଉଛି narrator ଆଉ ଯିଏ ଯୋଉ ଏଟାକୁ narrative voice କହନ୍ତି
The writer has choices to make. Will the narrator be a character in the story or tell the story as an observer?
observer
So, dita type ରହିପାରିବ. Either the narrator can be the main protagonist and ସେ ନିଜେ ତାଙ୍କ story କହିପାରିବେ or ସେ ଗୋଟେ observer ହେଇକି ଗୋଟେ character କୁ depict କରିକି ସେ story ଟା କହିପାରିବେ ହେଲା
yes ma'am ma'am ଯୋଉ story ଟା means I am ma'am ଏଇଭଳିଆ ଯଦି କୋଉ story start ହେଇଥିବ then ହେଠି narrator ନିଜକୁ put କରୁଛନ୍ତି ଆଉ ଯଦି କିଛି ନ୍ୟାରୁ start ହେଇଥିବ then ହେଠି
Yes.
narrator observer ଭାବରେ ଅଛନ୍ତି
Yes, very good. If the narrator is a character, will they be the main character? We call the main character the protagonist or hero. Okay.
villain ବି ହେଇପାରିବ
ଶାନ୍ତନୁ ତମକୁ ବେଶୀ villain ଭଲ ଲାଗନ୍ତି କି? The
no
writer
sir
can choose. The writer can choose to make the narrator speak directly to the reader in first person. ଏଠି ଆସିବ first person, second person, third person ହେଇକି କଥା ହେବା ଯୋଉ type ର story ଟା ଯାଏ ହେଲା ସେଟାରେ differences ଆସେ ହେଲା usually third person ଯେତେବେଳେ ଗୋଟେ ଲୋକକୁ describe କରୁଥିବ that is more of a narrative voice. Okay. First person ଯେତେବେଳେ narrator is himself herself or himself they will use the pronouns like I, me, we, mine. Okay, that a ସବୁ usage ରୁ you will know that the narrator is talking in the first person ନିଜେ ହେଇକି ସେ କଥା ହଉଛନ୍ତି okay ମାନେ ସେ ନିଜେ narration କରୁଛନ୍ତି okay ବୁଝିହେଲା
yes ma'am
The writer can choose to make the narrator tell the story from a distance using third person. ଯେମିତି ଏଠି ଲେଖା ହେଇଛି Johnny, Harry and Asima ran home. Third person uses pronouns such as he. Third person uses pronouns such as he, she, it, they and not I, mine. ଏ ସବୁ I ନିଜର କରିବନି ଏଠି ଯେମିତି ଏ cloud ରେ ଦେଖ ଏଠି ଲେଖା ହେଇଛି he went to the park. He looked sad. So this is the third person. ହେଲା ତମେ ହଉଛ narrator ଆଉ ତମେ ଜଣଙ୍କୁ ଗୋଟେ ଅଲଗା character କୁ describe କରୁଛ okay sometimes in third person, the narrator focuses on the thoughts and feelings of one character. ଯେମିତି ଏଇଠି ଆମେ ଦେଖିବା particular 100 dresses ରେ Maddie ର character ଆଉ thoughts ଆଉ feelings କୁ depict କରା ହଉଛି କେତେଟା ଜାଗାରେ ନୁହେଁ କି ଯେମିତି text ରେ ବି ଲେଖା ହେଇଛି ବହିରେ example ରେ ଦିଆ ହେଇଛି thank goodness ଦେଖି ପାରୁଛ ସେଇଠି ଲେଖା ହେଇଛି example ରେ. For example, look at the italicized words in this sentence. Thank goodness
she did not live off
on Boggin's Heights or have a funny name. Now, whose thoughts do the words thank goodness express? Maddie's. Who is grateful that although she's poor, she's yet not as poor as Wanda, and so, or as different. So she's thankful that she's not teased because of her name or her class or anything. Okay. So MTB sometimes eta hei pare ki third person narrator focus karanti taro thoughts and feelings upare. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
This can make us understand that character more closely. So from all these observations that the narrator gives us about Maddie, it helps us to understand the character of Maddie more closely and more easily. No, ki?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, this to be it. So it a first person, second person, jaha bhi jemti bhi likha itla.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Especially autobiography रे narrator निजे थांती and like हम जो इखन जो 100 dresses पढ़ते हैं observer भी रहते हैं.
Yes. So now you will tell me first. जल्दी जल्दी आज मत लाग. Second time
We can.
मैम 15 minutes extend लीजिए.
अच्छा सोमा मैम को पचार दे चुकी सोमा मैम टू परमिशन नहीं जाए शांतनु तमे oh anyways छाड़ा मते जल्दी जल्दी कुहा narrative voice रे first one. Here are two other sentences from the story. Can you say whose point of view the italicized words express? First one, but on Wednesday Peggy and Maddie, who sat down front with their with other children who got good marks and who didn't track in a whole lot of mud, did notice that Wanda wasn't there. Whose is this?
Peggy and Maddie.
No.
Yes.
Yes,
It was
Peggy.
it was Maddie and Peggy and Maddie, whatever you can put it. Okay, correct. Then second one is Wanda Petronsky. Most of the children in room 13 didn't have names like that. They had names easy to say like Thomas, Smith or Allen. Whose words?
I mean, the given sentence, the italicized words express the point of view of narrator.
Of the other students.
Other children of Wanda's
Okay,
class.
sorry.
Except Maddie and Peggy.
Peggy.
Okay. Okay. The last one is also very interesting. You have to use these
Fill in the
adverbs,
blanks.
Yes, but most importantly is that you have to use these adverbs correctly in the right place. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
जेतर भी यूज करियो
जेतर भी यूज करियो जोठी नहीं सेमती किछि नहीं जोठी appropriate जोटा.
Okay.
मैम कोथि मींस once यूज कर सला परे सेही वाटा को आउथरे यूज करि हबो.
We can use.
You can use and if you have a pen and paper handy, write your answers. I'll show you the answers. देखिबो तमे कि तमे ठीक कहछ ना भूल कहछ. Okay, we'll start with Ankita. Ankita, first one. Dash, he finished his work on time.
Ma'am, network problem, but she got it.
But surprisingly.
Yes. Second one, Shantanu. Dash, it will not on the day of the match.
Ma'am, hopefully it will
Okay.
not rain on the day of the match.
Third one, Shubham. Dash,
Evidently
he had been okay, remember your answers. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am.
television is dash to blame for the increase in violence in the society. Ankita.
Evidently.
Okay, remember your answer. Fifth one, the children will dash learn from their mistakes.
Ma'am, the children will hopefully learn from their mistakes.
Hopefully, okay. ठीक ଅଛି ମନେ ରଖିଥାଅ. Sixth one, I can't dash lend you that much money.
I can't
Shubham?
possibly lend you that much money.
Very good. Seventh, the thief had dash been watching the house for many days.
Apparently.
Okay. Eighth one, the thief dash escaped by bribing the jailer.
The thief surprisingly escaped by the reading of the jailer.
Eighth, mone rakhitha. 9 dash no one had suggested this before.
Surprisingly, no one had suggested this before.
The water was dash hot. Ankita.
Ma'am, no idea. Not getting words.
Evidently,
Shantanu?
Ma'am, the water was hopefully hot or surprisingly.
Hopefully. Hopefully,
surprise-
surprisingly.
ma'am,
Good.
evidently.
Okay, remember your answers, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
କିଏ କୋଉଟା ଭୁଲ କଲା?
I done everything right.
10th one, you said incredibly.
I didn't say it.
Ma'am, more 10th answer wrong.
Okay. Easy thila, you have to focus. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
ठीक ଅଛି. We'll go to the second one. Okay, Shubham, come up with your summary. Jaldi, jaldi. Shubham?
Sorry, ma'am. Sorry, ma'am. I was telling I didn't, so it was muted. Ma'am, in the second part, the 100 races too, father of Wanda Petronsky writes a letter to principal office of the school that he and her children had transferred to a big city. In this school, Wanda was teased by her classmates for her name. In the big city, there would be no means there would be they would consider her name they would don't consider her name as funny and would not tease her. It was transferred to Miss Mason. Miss Mason told her told it to the children. Peggy and Maddie visited. After that, Maddie felt sorry and Peggy didn't felt sorry, but for Maddie's means for Maddie, she also went with her to Wanda's house to the Bogin site. There they saw that they were not there, and they returned with a friendly letter written by Wanda.
They first write a
Written
letter.
to- Yes, ma'am. They wrote a letter in the wrote the letter and posted it the Bogin site, and they wrote that pass it.
They did not receive any reply from Wanda. And then when it was Christmas, they received. Continue.
Ma'am, they received and they thought that yes, Wanda received the letter and she had means forgave them. That much only it is there.
Okay. Okay. Good. So first, this also read, or should we go fast? Hey, don't mute yourself. I said don't mute yourself. There's no need
No,
to
ma'am.
mute yourself.
No, ma'am, we didn't mute.
Okay. What did the comprehension check 1? What did Mr. Petronsky's letter say? Mr. Petronsky's letter said that Wanda would not come to
Ma'am,
school
this you will
anymore.
pass it to us, na?
Yes, I will pass it to you. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh,
Yes,
Mr. Petronsky's letter said that Wanda would not come to school anymore as they were shifting to another city. He also said that there nobody would ask them why they had funny names because there were plenty of funny names in the city. Okay. Is Miss Mason angry with the class or is she unhappy and upset? Yes, Miss Mason was unhappy and upset as she was disturbed by the ill treatment to Wanda by the students of her class. She didn't approve of the humiliation of a child just because of her name, dresses, and house. How does Maddie feel after listening to the note from Wanda's father? Shantanu, read this.
After listening to the note from Wanda's father, Maddie had a very sick and guilty feeling in the bottom of her stomach. She could not concentrate when she tried to prepare her lessons. She wanted to get a chance to apologize to Wanda for not being able to stand up for her when she could have.
Yes. Okay. What does Maggie want to do? Maddie wanted to tell ମୁଁ ଖାଲି Maddie को Maggie ही କହି ଦଉଛି. What does Maggie ଟା familiar name ଟା ନା?
Yes, ma'am.
What does Maddie want to do? Maddie wanted to tell Wanda that she didn't want to hurt her feelings. Now comprehension check 2. What excuses does Peggy think up for her behavior and why? Shubham, read this.
Ma'am, 1 minute. Peggy thought that she was satisfied that she never called Wanda a foreigner or made fun of her name. She also said that she never thought Wanda had even the sense to know that they were making fun of her. She realized her mistake of thinking that Wanda was not bright enough to understand her insult.
Yes. What was Maddie's thoughts as they go to Boggins Heights? Maddie was feeling bad about Wanda and herself. She is feeling very sad for not even getting a chance to say sorry to Wanda. Why does Wanda's house remind Maddie of Wanda's blue dress? Wanda's blue dress was old, faded, but used to be neat and clean. Similarly, her house was small but clean. Therefore, it reminded Maddie of Wanda's blue dress. Ankita, what does Maddie think hard about? What important decision does she come to?
Wanda thinks about not letting injustice happen to anyone. She takes a vow that she would protest if anybody misbehaves with anyone again. She won't be a mute spectator the way she did earlier. In a way, the episode of Wanda's family leaving the city works as a major change agent for Maddie's personality.
Yes.
Ma'am, there in the first word, Wanda should be Maddie, I guess.
Which one?
The starting of answer, Wanda thinks about not letting injustice
Yes,
happen
yes.
to anyone.
Yes, yes.
That would be Maddie.
Yes, yes. That would be Maddie. Yes, thank you. Okay. Comprehension check 3. What did the girls write to Wanda? The girls wrote a friendly letter to Wanda telling her that she had won the contest. They also wrote how pretty her drawings were. They asked her if she liked the place where she was living and if she liked her new teacher. They wanted to say that they were sorry. However, they ended up with just writing a friendly letter. So they first thought of writing a apologetic letter, but instead of doing that, they ended up writing a friendly letter. Okay, and they posted it. Arey, hello, Ishana. You joined in late.
Yes, ma'am. Actually, I had a tuition and ma'am suddenly told that there is a tuition. So
Okay.
sorry, ma'am.
No problem, no problem. You want to read this answer?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Question number 2. Did they get a reply? Who was more anxious for a reply, Peggy or Maddie? How do you know?
No, they didn't get a reply. Maddie was more anxious for a reply as she thought a lot about it. She would put herself to sleep making speeches about Wanda and defending her from great crowds of girls who were trying to tease her. Before Wanda could press her lips together in a tight line, which she did before answering, Maddie would cry out and ask everybody to stop, and then everybody would feel ashamed the way she felt. Peggy, on the other hand, had begun to forget about the whole affair. This shows that Maddie was more anxious for a reply than Peggy.
Yes. Third one, how did the girls know that Wanda liked them even though they had teased her? The girls came to know that Wanda liked them even though they had teased her, as she had asked Miss Mason to give the green dress with red trimming to Peggy and the blue one to Maddie. Later, when Maddie looked at the drawing very carefully, she realized that the dress had a face and a head which looked like her own self. The head and face in the drawing given to Peggy looked just like her. That is why the girls knew that Wanda liked them even though they had teased her. Just some time ago, somebody who Shantanu, I guess, while telling about the summary, you mentioned that Wanda, gave some of the dresses, some of the drawings to
Ma'am,
she dedicated.
move
Who
part
said that?
1 quickly.
Who said that? Ki some of the
Shubham.
dresses dela.
Shubham.
Shantanu nalla Shubham. Okay.
Ma'am, move to part
What?
1
What?
quickly.
JB Kohila, somebody said
What,
that.
ma'am?
Did you say that Wanda dedicated some of the drawings to Peggy and Maddie?
No, ma'am.
No? Okay.
I said that. I
So,
actually said that.
okay. Not, dedicate some of the drawings only, but two particular drawings. One that was particularly for Maddie and the other which was particularly for Peggy. If you go through the text, it is particularly mentioned like that. Okay.
Yes, ma'am, I mean that, but it went on a flow.
Okay. अरे এটা এমতি কোন হয়েছে this has to be corrected. Okay, just leave the questions. Why do you think Wanda's family moved to a different city? Do you think life there was going to be different from their family? Wanda's family moved to different city because of her father, as he felt bad about the bad behavior of girls towards Wanda. Maddie, second one, Maddie thought her silence was as bad as Peggy's teasing. Was she right? Yes, Maddie was right when she thought that her silence was as bad as Peggy's teasing because her silence encouraged Peggy to tease her. A person who sees something wrong happening in front of him or her is as much an offender as the person committing the offense. Maddie was too afraid to say anything because she did not want to lose Peggy's friendship. Also, she was poor herself, so she feared that everybody would make fun of her too. Now, okay, this question has, overlapped. Anyways, I'll correct this and send you, okay? Peggy says, I never thought she had the sense to know we were making fun of her anyway. I thought she was too dumb. And gee, look how she can draw. What led Peggy to believe that Wanda was dumb? Did she change her opinion later? Okay, Shantanu, read this.
Peggy believed that Wanda was dumb as
Ma'am,
she
ma'am, don't know why your letters are.
I know.
means-
It is overlapped. I'll correct it and give you. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Uh,
The questions are overlapped to each other.
Peggy believed that Wanda was dumb as she could not understand why Wanda said she had 100 dresses. Even when everybody knew that she was poor, she knew everybody was laughing at her. Even then, she kept giving the same answer. She even described the dresses she said she had.
Okay. Did she change her opinion later? Here,
That
other
is
part.
why Peggy thought Wanda was dumb. She changed her opinion later when she saw the 100 dresses Wanda had talked about. She saw the drawings and was highly impressed by their beauty. She realized that Wanda was a very good artist.
Yes. Okay. Both one, what important decision did Maddie make? Why did she have to think hard to do so? The important decision that Maddie made was that she would never stand by and say nothing again. If she ever heard anybody picking on someone, mane mocking, bullying, teasing, okay, because they were funny looking or because they had strange names, she would speak up. She did not even mind losing Peggy's friendship over it. She knew she could not make things right with Wanda. However, she had decided that in the future, she would never make anybody else unhappy again. She was unhappy that she could not find Wanda at her home. She could not sleep that night. She thought about Wanda, her faded blue dress, and the little house she lived in. She also thought about the 100 glowing pictures, which were all lined up in the classroom. She was feeling guilty of not having said anything when everybody else was teasing Wanda. It was her guilt that made her think very hard and arrive at the important decision. Now, why do you think Wanda gave Maddie and Peggy the drawings of the dresses? Why are they surprised? Wanda gave Maddie and Peggy the drawings of dresses because they made fun of her 100 dresses. They believed her to be a liar. They believed that Wanda was lying. And it was actually, technically dekhile, that was a lie. Okay, that was a fantasy that Wanda used to speak to the other, her classmates or whoever was asking how many dresses or hats or shoes you had. Okay, that was a lie. Technically, देखिया गले से मिच्छा ही कहूथला. Okay, but what happened? They were surprised because they always made fun of her, of her dresses and insulted her. But she had gifted them with those beautiful designs. Do you think Wanda really thought the girls were teasing her? Why or why not? Okay. Yes, Wanda knew that the girls were teasing her. She would have known that the children intended to make fun of her poverty and would have laughed at her, whatever she might have said. This could have been the reason for her exaggerating everything whenever she answered their questions. Okay. Now, here we have 30 adjectives. Okay. You have the book with you?
Yes,
Yes, ma'am.
Number kuha Shubham. We Shantanu nale pacharibo page number koda.
ma'am. 70.
Okay.
Then ma'am,
So now tell me fast. Okay, you have to tell me what will go into the positive quality category and what will go to the negative quality category. Okay.
Ma'am, ma'am,
All
who will
these
tell what?
adjectives. Yes, I'll ask. Kind. Kind means is to be.
Positive.
Positive.
Hey, don't shout like that. Wo dori gali. Okay. Kind is positive. Sarcastic. All of you.
Negative.
What does sarcastic mean?
Means in a man for a word, two meanings are there. First meaning is positive meaning, second meaning is a negative meaning. In a negative meaning, it is the sarcasm.
Acha. Anybody wants to add on something? Is he correct, Ishana? Ankita?
Ma'am, what does the word mean?
Sarcastic, taunting. Is taunting a positive or a negative quality?
Negative quality.
Yes. Sarcasm can never be positive. Shubham. Taunt मारले तमे तमरो spirits uplift થઈ જાય. You become very happy or you become a little hurt or sad or whatever. Taunt मारिले.
And we become sad, but if we'll take it in a positive manner, we can means
Yeah, that
show
is
them
something
that we
different.
are that
That
one.
is something different.
What you told us, we are that one only today, like that.
Okay. ঠিক আছে. Oh, next is courteous. Positive or negative? Courteous means very polite, respectful.
positive.
Positive.
Ankita, are you there?
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Arrogant.
ma'am.
Arrogant. Having a feeling of having a feeling of superiority. I am, I am, I am the boss, arrogant types. Is it a
Negative.
negative? Insipid.
Positive.
What
Ma'am,
is the main?
negative.
Okay,
Ma'am,
wait.
negative.
Who said positive? What is the meaning of insipid?
Oh, ma'am, I means listened intrepid.
Okay, tell me what is insipid mean?
Don't know.
Ma'am, weak.
Shana, why you said it's negative?
I didn't say.
Ma'am, I
Said
said it.
Ankita. Okay, sorry. Hey, कोठी भूत
Ma'am,
काହାର
background noise.
background noise आसुची if somebody can mute कोठू आसुची मैं जानी पानी. Okay, insipid means tasteless, weak. Okay, so is it positive or negative?
Negative.
Negative. Timid.
Negative.
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 Positive.
Negative.
Timid is lack of courage, confidence,
Ma'am, shy.
easily हार मानी जानती. हाँ, timid is shy, introvert. So how can it be a positive quality? Timid is negative quality. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Yes,
Placid. Placid. Placid,
Uh,
not easily excited or upset.
Positive.
Not a
Positive.
positive. You take placid as positive?
Yes, ma'am.
Very
Ma'am,
good.
means ma'am,
Hmm.
meaning क्या होता है?
Meaning ହେଲା कि ତମେ ବହୁତ extreme ହେଇଯାଅନି ମାନେ easily କୋଉ ଜିନିଷ ପାଇଁ upset ହେଇଯାଅନି କି କୋଉ ଜିନିଷ ପାଇଁ excited ହେଇଯାଅନି. You stay calm.
Ma'am, positive.
Positive.
Yes. Cruel.
Negative.
Negative.
Yes. Haughty.
Negative.
What do you mean by haughty?
Naughty.
अच्छा,
Or
haughty means naughty. Aha.
Ma'am, haughty same meaning as arrogant.
Yes. Very good. Haughty means full of pride. You're very proudy. Like ta side रे भी अच्छी proud. ହେଲା? Proud
Negative.
is also negative. Zealous.
Negative.
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 Zealous. Ma'am, positive.
positive.
ହଁ କାହିଁକି ନା ତମର zeal ନଥିଲେ ତମେ
Zeal.
କରିବ
Yes, ma'am. No,
Yes,
ma'am. We
ma'am.
thought about J wala jealous.
Jealous. Yes, ma'am.
ମୁଁ J वाला jealous ବି କହିନି ମୁଁ zealous କହିଲି.
Ma'am, we thought that.
Intrepid.
Positive.
What makes you say it's positive? ତାର meaning କଣ?
Means to sense it to means intrepid means to sense it to somebody else to
Ma'am, it means fearless.
Yes.
Fearless.
शुभम तमे interpret କଥା କହୁଛ ବୋଧେ ଏଟା intrepid ମାନେ ହଉଛି fearless, adventurous.
Fearless.
ହେଲା? So it's a positive or negative?
positive.
Okay. Sensitive.
Positive.
Ma'am, positive.
Positive.
Okay. Compassionate.
Positive.
Positive.
Negative.
Introverted.
Negative.
Negative.
Because you said timid is negative, so
Yes,
introverted
ma'am.
is also negative.
Very good. Stolid.
Negative.
Ma'am,
No.
positive.
Yes. Why
Stolid means-
positive? Why positive? Tell me what do you mean by stolid?
Ma'am, because stolid means calm.
And
Actually,
showing very
calm.
showing very
Dependent.
little
Yes.
emotion.
Yes. Showing very little emotion. Stolid. So it's a positive quality. Cheerful.
Positive.
Positive.
Contented. Contented.
Ma'am, positive.
Yes. Why? What do you mean by contented? Shantanu?
Ma'am, contented mean happiness or satisfaction. The feeling of happiness or satisfaction.
I'm satisfied.
Satisfied. Thoughtless.
Negative.
Thoughtless.
Negative.
Negative.
Okay.
And negative.
Why negative?
Ma'am, like she thought ही नहीं means कब like
lack
feeling
of
ही नहीं
concern.
feeling
Lack
नहीं
of, yes. Vain,
Negative.
Negative.
friendly,
positive
Positive.
unforgiving,
Negative.
Negative.
negative. Fashionable,
Positive.
Both positive, negative.
negative मैम means जदि हम एटाକୁ बेसी देखैबा त नेटा नेगेटिव हे जिवो
ବେଶୀ ଦେଖେଇବ.
means
Fashion-
man
Okay, I was just pulling your leg. ठीक କଥା. Okay, but it is more of positive than negative.
yes, ma'am.
Okay, so it will go in the positive category. Generous,
Positive.
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 talented,
Positive.
Positive.
friendly,
Negative.
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 yes, determined,
Positive.
positive
Positive.
creative,
positive
Positive.
miserable,
Negative.
negative
Negative.
complacent,
Negative.
negative. Okay. Now, Suma ma'am, I just have a little bit of the last two exercises and then we'll finish.
It's okay, ma'am. You just carry on.
Okay. The next one is now you have to use the above adjectives to describe Peggy. How will you describe Peggy? Take help from those words that you just had put into the positive and negative
Ma'am,
categories.
arrogant.
I'm
Peggy was
sarcastic
Peggy was sarcastic, arrogant. Okay.
thoughtless
Ma'am, cruel.
No, she was not cruel. It is
Ma'am,
mentioned in the
it
text.
was-
Yes,
It
ma'am, she was
was-
not
yeah.
cruel.
Yes.
and she loved children and animals ma'am thoughtless
Thoughtless. Yes.
Ma'am,
Thoughtless.
complacent.
proud
Ma'am, complacent.
How complacent? Self-satisfied. Yes, she started consoling herself that at least she did not make fun of her name and all that. Okay, complacent.
ma'am proud
Proud.
Peggy wasn't really proud. No.
Ma'am,
ସେ କାରଣ
talented.
popular ଥିଲା ସେଥିପାଇଁ ନିଜକୁ
Nah, she was not proud, but
She was
not
arrogant.
in the
Talented.
text. Yes. Then creative also. Creative na-
Fashionable.
Nibble. Yes. Okay.
ମ୍ୟାମ୍ ଏଠି ଅନଫରଗିଭିଂ ହବ ନା ହବନି କାରଣ ସେଠି ମାନେ ବହୁତ କେସେସ୍ ଏଠି ମାନେ ଦେଇଛନ୍ତି ମାନେ ସେ ପେଗିକୁ ମିନ୍ସ ମାନେ ଟିଜ୍ ବି କରୁଥିଲା ଏଠି ଚିଲଡ୍ରେନ୍ ମାନଙ୍କୁ ଲଭ୍ ବି କରୁଥିଲା ମ୍ୟାମ୍ ଏଠି କଣ ଅନଫରଗିଭିଂ ହବ ନା ହବନି
Forgiving adjective describe ହିଁ କରିବନି Peggy କୁ କାହିଁକି ନା ସେମିତି କିଛି circumstance ହିଁ ନାହିଁ ଏଇ chapter ରେ ଯୋଉଠି Peggy has to be forgiving somebody. Unforgiving ମାନେ କଣ? Unforgiving ମାନେ ହଉଛି କି ତମେ କାହାକୁ forgive କରନି. You are not you are very adamant and you don't want to forgive that person. But ethi कौन हला? Ethi they were apologetic to Wanda and they were asking for forgiveness. Okay, but in case of Wanda, we see that she was of a very forgiving nature and she was very lovable. Okay.
Ma'am,
Okay. Next.
talented.
Yes, talented,
Ma'am, contented.
contented. She was satisfied with herself. Yeah. Probably.
Intrepid.
Intrepid. କୋଉ ଜିନିଷରୁ କହୁଛ intrepid ବୋଲି fearless ये
Yes, ma'am. Fearless.
ମ୍ୟାମ୍ ଏଠି jealous ହବ sorry
zealous.
jealous
अरे ସବୁ ଯାକ use କରିବା ନା ନାହିଁ only those adjectives you have to take which will best describe Peggy, Wanda and Maddie. Okay, now come to
Ma'am.
Wanda.
yes ma'am
Now come to
sensitive
Wanda.
I'm sensitive
Ma'am, kind.
Sensitive.
friendly
She was not
lonely
friendly. Wanda was not friendly.
ମ୍ୟାମ୍
was
ଉପରେ
Wanda
ଦେଇଥିଲା ସେ attendance gain କରିବା ପାଇଁ ସେ lie କହିଲା କି ତା ପାଖରେ 100 dresses ଅଛି then ହେଠି
but
ସେଟା
अरे हो जो don't confuse like that. Wanda was not at all friendly. It is clearly mentioned in the text, isn't it?
okay ma'am
Ma'am, she didn't had any friends.
Yes. And she was not friendly.
Introvert.
She was an
introverted.
Yes, she was shy. She always came alone to school and went back home alone also. These kind of
Lonely.
sentence. Yes. So you have
Creative.
to. Yes, she was
Ma'am,
very creative.
talented.
Otherwise, yes.
talented
And she was fashionable also. Because
Yes,
if
ma'am.
she was not creatively fashionable, then she would not have drawn such beautiful 100 dresses, all different in color and design and everything, isn't it? Don't you think?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am. Ma'am, zealous.
Zealous. She was enthusiastic.
Yes,
Yes.
ma'am.
Okay, come to
Compassionate.
Maddie.
Insipid. Insipid.
Ma'am, compassionate.
Insipid. Who was insipid?
Wanda.
Panda. Okay, that can also be.
Ma'am, compassionate haba wanderer.
Compassionate भी ହେବ because
Okay.
ଯଦି ତମେ କୋଉ ଗୋଟେ passion କୁ ନେଇକି compassionate ହବନି, if you don't love it, then you won't be able to, be creative. And if you don't be creative, you don't be fashionable, then of course Vanda भी fashionable ଥିଲା, ତାକୁ fashion sense ଥିଲା ବୋଲି ନା ସେ 100 ଟା different dresses draw କରିପାରିଲା, ନୁହେଁ କି?
Yes.
Okay, Maddie, describe Maddie.
Friendly. Stolid.
କଣଟା? କହୁନ ଜଲ୍ଦି ଜଲ୍ଦି Maddie ର, and we are done with this. এটা করলে সরলা তারপরে या পরে ଆଉ ଗୋଟେ ଅଛି. Okay, I have written there kind, timid, sensitive, miserable. She felt all these things in the chapter. Okay,
Yes, yes.
now you have to last जो ଅଛି. Okay, ଆଜି ମତେ ସେଟା ସାରିକିନା ଦିଅ, last जो exercises, last जो exercise ନାହିଁ,
3
last
and 4.
जोटा ଲେଖା ହେଇଛି, ଗୋଟେ second.
Ma'am, 3 and
Yes.
4.
Yes, जोटा
Find the
sentences କରିବାର
sentences
ଅଛି
in the
lined up,
story with the following.
and the match the following. जो match the following ଅଛି ସେଟା ଦିଟା ମତେ କରିକିନା ଦିଅ, then only I'll send you these PDFs.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So
Yes,
we
ma'am.
finished. I had 2 more videos to show, but next class I'll start with those videos. I'll show you and then we'll proceed with the class. Okay, it's already very late today. I took half an hour.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. Ankita, hope you liked the class. It was good to have you.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much, ma'am, and I'm really sorry it took half an hour more.
Oh, it's okay, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
The class
Thank you,
was
Kilde.
really
Thank you, ma'am.
interesting.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, bye. Good evening. Bye.
Okay, thank you
Bye, ma'am.
all.